Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mitch. Hope you guys are having a great and safe night, especially if you're in Alabama and Mississippi this evening as you have ongoing severe weather. I know a lot of people right now are going live, so you're able to watch that, but I do want to go through my commitment and make a video this evening and talk about what's going on. And right at this moment, this would probably be for around 5:39 Central Standard Time. You do still have this tornado warning just southwest of Birmingham, but I think it is beginning to weaken, and you do have that severe thunderstorm warning, including Birmingham. So there's been some decent activity this this afternoon. Nothing too crazy by any means. I don't think there's really been a real report of a tornado. There's been reports of some funnel clouds, but I know over here in Macon, Mississippi today, this is probably the best picture I've seen of anything remotely close to an actual tornado, and that could change. That could be changing as I'm making this video right now, but this is really close to Macon, Mississippi, about 3:48 this afternoon Central Standard Time. This was taken by a storm chaser named Jordan Hall. Got a really good shot of an open field and this lowering. We can't really tell if it's making it to the ground, but it certainly looks like a pretty stout cone right here. And yeah, I haven't seen a whole lot of reports of damage in this area, but there is definitely some reports coming out right now for some damage with these tornadoes going on. Well, potential tornadoes going on. A lot of it's just wind damage that's really going on because of this low-level jet that's creating a big-time wind field. A lot of these winds are mixing to the surface, creating a dangerous situation, even with storms that are not producing tornadoes. But what we have right here, tornado watch up for areas still like Birmingham. I do think potentially that storm that we're looking at right here could re-strengthen. It has a little bit of an environment to work with as it's not congealed with a bunch of other storms. So you still have to watch out. When you look at a wider view of what's going on here, this action will continue to move into areas like North Georgia. Luckily for you folks in Tennessee today, there has not really been any kind of tornado threat. It really has never got its act together up there, but there's been a lot of wind reports of wind damage. This will continue to move into North Georgia, will continue to weaken as far as the severe weather part of this. But we'll continue to watch this. Definitely stay tuned. You want to hit me up on Twitter, social media. If y'all see any pictures, got any storm damage pictures, or just see anything out there, definitely feel free to tag me up on my Twitter there, and I'll definitely give it a retweet, get it out there. I've been trying to retweet all the warnings and watches this afternoon and evening. But like I said, tornado watch up for all these counties in Alabama. So if you're in these watch areas, even outside these watch areas, can continue to stay weather aware in these areas. So let's take a look at really what's going on. I'm not going to hold you up too long. There's a lot of people going live right now as far as storm chasing, actually going live, which I plan to do here in the future. And then there's people on YouTube going live, breaking this down live for you folks. But I want to make this video, what's going on the rest of the evening, overnight. This is what's left, and this is for about 7 p.m., so here in the next really 15 minutes, this line of convection, line of storms will continue to move southeast or east, and it will continue to weaken. So as we're getting into around the midnight frame time, around Eastern Standard Time, midnight here, the line of storms have already moved through Atlanta, and they'll continue to weaken. We have to see how much they hold together as you're getting into the Carolinas for your overnight time, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning here. And we'll have to see how these hold together, but I really don't think they're going to hold together much. I think it'll be some heavy rain, some gusty winds ahead of this front. So I think if anybody wakes up overnight in the Carolinas, Virginia, southeast Georgia, I think it's going to be because of some gusty winds, really. So if you live in a trailer or just a home that when it's really windy out there, you hear it a lot. You're definitely going to hear it a lot this tonight into overnight into tomorrow morning. But I don't really think there's going to be much of severe weather threat for the southeast overnight into the Carolinas. We take a look at the northeast. The rain and action and everything will continue to move through overnight. Now, this will be a wind-driven rain, so you're getting past midnight at this point. This rain falling in southern New England will be mixing with a ton of wind, a lot of strong winds gusting to 40 to 50, maybe 60 miles per hour. So it's going to be like a mini tropical storm conditions up here. And I mean, not literally a tropical storm, but heavy rain, strong winds. I mean, it's going to be there. You're going to have some strong winds with this rain, even into the interior northeast. And here's this low pressure tracking here. This is going to be a wind-driven rain in these areas, and then the cold air moves through. and then we're back to winter at least for a few days. But rain will continue, and then as we're waking up tomorrow, I would say right before the sun comes up, maybe some convective activity moving through New York City, Boston, in the form of maybe some elevated storm action moving through the Delmarva area as you're waking up tomorrow morning. So stay safe. This is ongoing right now. One last look at the radar before we really briefly talk about maybe the system we're watching for next week. But this is what's going on. A tornado warning has now been reissued for areas for this same storm. So they're still seeing conditions that are favorable for a tornado. Like I said, by the time a lot of you folks watch this, there might be something more significant ongoing here. But we look at the velocity scan, which is really what we look at for any rotation, and there's a little bit right here getting very close to Hoover, Alabama. So this is really including areas just south of Birmingham. So we'll have to see if this continues to hold its own in this environment that's not super very favorable for tornadic activity, but it's still somewhat favorable here. Eventually, the tornado threat will go away altogether in this region here. Briefly, we'll talk about the wind threat with this rain that I just mentioned. And here it is. Briefly, we'll mention it here as we're getting past midnight. This system will quickly move into the northeast, mid-Atlantic. Gusty winds overnight for the Carolinas. I'm talking about wind gusts, but potentially reaching maybe occasionally 30 to 40 miles per hour, especially in North Carolina, points northeast. And as you get into New England, maybe 40, 50, 60 mile per hour wind gusts occasionally overnight. And then by the time we're waking up, it's the worst out on Cape Cod, where you have, and even areas of Long Island, the islands just south of Cape Cod, winds pushing 60, 70, 80 miles per hour with gusts, not consistently, but just gusts. So be safe out there. Quickly, I want to mention what's going on. I'm going to look at the GFS, the Canadian, and the European very quickly here. And the next system we're really going to be watching is getting into next week, about 5 to 6 days away. Cold air drops in. In fact, the National Weather Service, the Climate Prediction Center, is already talking about below average temperatures in this region. So therefore, you have to watch as this jet stream dips. And does any moisture fire up? According to all the global models like the GFS, Canadian, and Euro, it does. Therefore, you have some ice showing up here as we're getting into Wednesday of Thursday of next week, and a big-time winter storm showing up per the latest operational runs. And the cold air, high pressure right here, where is the boundary set up? Does it buckle like this? Does it buckle like this? Or does the cold air push more into the southeast, which no model guidance shows? But right now, showing a substantial winter storm for areas of the south central U.S., the Mississippi Valley, the northern Mississippi Valley, Arkansas, Missouri, and this would slam areas of the Ohio Valley as you're getting into next Thursday. So we have to watch this, and then this turns into a big-time northeast threat. Canadian model, same thing, kind of the same time frame. Getting into Thursday, it's pretty big agreement from the operational run right now. Shows a winter storm even into Dallas, Texas. Brings in the Arkansas, brings in the western Tennessee, areas like Kentucky, the southern areas of the Ohio Valley, and then pumps out another area of frozen precipitation as the cold boundary moves south. And then you have to worry about even another round of winter weather here. Look at the European. What does the European show? Well, it shows the same thing. You're getting into around Wednesday night, Thursday, and next week, and you're showing a lot of frozen precipitation. So you have agreement here. So this is going to be the next topic, I think. I don't see any big-time severe weather with this yet, but we'll have to watch to see how this jet stream sets up in a nutshell. So that's all I got, guys. Stay safe out there. Severe weather conditions ongoing still. Please stay safe out there. And we'll continue to break down this next storm system starting tomorrow evening, big time here. So God bless, stay safe, and y'all have a great night.